Current living situation. I, 39 female, live in a house with Tom, 40 male, and Ben, 43 male, and our 5 children. Boys, tweens, Tom and mine bio kids, 2 girls, tween and pre-tween, bio kids Ben's and his late wife Anna, and our youngest girl, pre-tween, Ben and mine bio kid. Ben and I work. Tom's been a stay-at-home dad for the last 9 years. He went back to school 4 years ago. Ben and I cover all household expenses, including any costs for Tom's education. Background: Tom and I met at a party when we were 19. We've been friends ever since, with benefits at time when we were both single. While on a holiday together, a condom broke on us. Due to location, emergency contraception wasn't available, and when I turned out to be pregnant, we chose to keep that kid and moved in together. We were never a couple, but we worked great as a family, so we decided to have a second kid. Anna was my childhood best friend. She and Ben moved into the flat downstairs from ours when she was pregnant with their oldest child. I loved having her close again after living in different cities for years. Sadly, she passed away after a very complicated second labour. Ben and I found solace in each other and I ended up pregnant. I didn't notice right away as my method of contraception should have been safe, and I also blamed a lot of the symptoms on grief and guilt, so when I found out there wasn't really an alternative anymore, Tom was the first one I told. He said he'd welcome another child into our family. Ben was shocked and struggled to accept it, but we kept in good contact through all of it. We all started having dinner most nights after our daughter was born. Other girls would already spend the day as Tom was their nanny. A couple of years later, my grandma moved into a retirement home, and Tom and I decided to move to her house. Ben asked if he could move in with us, and we agreed. It's maybe unusual, but it works for us. Where I might be the idiot, Tom has been with Bea for the last 3 years. There was some talk about him asking her to move in about a year ago, but he never did. Bea and I get along, not best friends, but I like spending time with her. Well, liked. She showed up unannounced 3 days ago and demanded to see Tom. He's currently on a skiing trip with Ben and the boys. I reminded her of that and then said I would tell him to contact her if there was an emergency. She then tells me that she's pregnant with Tom's child, highly unlikely, and that she's already talked to his parents and they will buy them a house next to theirs so they can live there as a family, and that they will be taking the boys with them. That's when I told her to leave, which after some yelling and insults she did. I've since been called multiple times by her best friend and Tom's parents to try and get his contact, but I'm still refusing to give it away. They've been calling me an idiot amongst other names for not letting him know that Bea is pregnant and he doesn't need to be abused and exploited by me anymore. So, am I the idiot for not giving my possibly pregnant baby daddy's girlfriend his contact after she threatened to break apart my family? Edit to add, Tom had a vasectomy 11 years ago and he's in very low contact with his parents as they disapprove of me and our overall living arrangements. I don't know why Tom didn't tell her how to contact him. He likes turning off his phone during holidays and telling people where to contact him instead. For not giving out contact information to someone who didn't already have it and thus likely didn't have the consent to contact on this trip, I say not the idiot. Let him take his trip, there isn't a lot you can do about it from there anyway, and a stay-at-home needs a damn break. He can come home and tend to the mess in person. Good luck. If her pregnancy claim is true, it will probably be messier before it gets better. Do you think not giving Bea Tom's information will somehow make this situation go away or get better? Have you notified the relationship authorities about this new category you've created? Friends with benefits and children, but mostly just children squared. Are you living in a sitcom? Have you considered introducing Bea to Ben? It seems to me a DNA test is all that's needed here. So Bea told Tom's parents and knew that she's pregnant before telling Tom and already has a plan for where they'll live and how child custody will be arranged without Tom's input. And she presumably only found out about the pregnancy after they left on the ski trip. That's insane. Now, maybe pregnancy hormones are messing up her mental state, but this all seems instead calculated. Is there any chance she was hoping to provoke a fight and waited until there were no witnesses? Yeah, I hope Bea and his parents don't ambush him in the driveway. Tom's about to have his life completely shattered, so no, I don't think you're the idiot for giving the man another day of peace. Good luck, OP. It takes a village to raise a kid. Your village just happens to be pretzel-shaped and living under one roof. I, male 26, am married to my wife 24 and my older brother 30 is also married to sister-in-law 28. My brother has been married for longer than my wife and I. He and my sister-in-law got pregnant quite a few times, but she lost her pregnancy every time. They keep trying, but either in the first or second trimester she miscarries. My wife and I got married last year. She got pregnant a few months after the wedding, and we welcomed our baby a little over a month ago. We celebrated Christmas with her family and New Year's Eve with mine. We had Christmas dinner with many extended family who haven't yet met the baby, so they were excited about it. My aunts and cousins and grandmothers were all over my wife and our baby, asking how she was, how the delivery had been, how she was managing the baby's feeding, and all kinds of stuff, which I think is all normal, right? The problem is that my sister-in-law was very noticeably bitter, and my brother was too. It's not the first time they've acted like this ever since my wife and I found out about her pregnancy. At some point, my sister-in-law said that she was sick of the baby talk, which rubbed me the wrong way. I told her that she could go home and have chicken nuggets all by herself if she didn't like being surrounded by other happy people. She and my brother said that it was kind of insensitive to be talking only about that when everybody knows about their issues with having a child. I told them that it wasn't my wife's fault that she was able to have a successful pregnancy and to stop being bitter about it. That started a big argument and my brother and his wife left. It's been a couple of weeks now and I'm still receiving texts from family who are deeply worried about my sister-in-law and brother after I mistreated them. I don't think I mistreated them. It's not my wife's fault that she can successfully carry a baby to term, and it's not anyone's fault that a new baby in the family is something to talk about. Some people think I was insensitive, so please let me know your opinion. Extra content. This is not the first time my sister-in-law says stuff like this to us. She's done similar stuff in my wife's baby shower, gender reveal party, even her birthday, and other family gatherings and other occasions. She's made unnecessary comments and told my wife to tone it down while opening gifts for the baby at the baby shower. My wife was obviously excited. Sister-in-law thought that she was overly excited. We had to end the gender reveal party early because she wouldn't stop crying. We suggested my brother leave and that we wouldn't be upset over it. I suggested driving them if they wanted to, and they didn't want to. She wanted to stay and cry in front of everyone else. I have to go with you are the idiot. You could have been a lot more sensitive to their loss and hurt. You chose to be an idiot and just basically rub their faces in it. I sincerely hope you and your wife never have to experience the loss of a child, but if you do, then you'll get it. Right now, you're just selfish. Disagree. Opie's not the idiot. You can't let people like that wear their grief as a cloak that surrounds the room and everyone has to walk around eggshells around them. No one was rubbing anything in anyone's face. His brother and sister-in-law are selfish because they think the world only revolves around them and their loss. Yeah, it's one thing to grieve and find it hard being around other pregnant women and babies, but that doesn't mean you're suddenly allowed to be an idiot to them. Sister-in-law needs therapy to find healthy coping mechanisms instead of using Opie's wife as an emotional scratching post. And according to Opie's edit, sister-in-law has been sabotaging all the baby events with her act. Guess what? The world does not revolve around your baby. Everyone paid attention to you and celebrated your growing family. At some point, it is time to move to a different subject. For your sister-in-law's sake and that of everyone else, you were being selfish. I hope you teach your child more kindness than you've been able to display. Grow up. You and the family are idiots. As a person who has had multiple pregnancy losses, I can guarantee that if anyone had sat with your sister-in-law and just supported her, this would not have happened. She isn't bitter, she's in pain. I have joint custody of my pre-tween son Jack with his mom. He will be with his mom tomorrow until Tuesday. She asked if I would be okay with her and her husband going to California for a surprise VIP experience at Legoland with Jack. She needs my written consent to take him out of state. I said to email me the letter and I'll review it and sign it. She sent it to me on Monday. Well, on Monday she broke her leg and couldn't move around, let alone get on a plane, so I assumed the trip was cancelled. Today she texted me and asked if I would send the letter back. I told her how was she going to get on a plane tomorrow when she was still immobile. She said she's not going. Her husband Logan is taking Jack. I told her to call me. I said it was weird that you want me to sign this letter permitting you to take Jack out of state when it's your husband. She said by signing it, I'm effectively giving her permission to allow Logan to take Jack to Legoland. I said I have very mixed feelings about it, but he'd go if his best friend Matt could go too. Logan pays for all, of course. You are the idiot. Don't punish your kid for this. It might make you feel momentarily better to turn the screws on your ex, but the bigger picture is that you and your wife are both parenting Jack and want the best for him, and from time to time, stepdad will naturally take part in this. No one planned a stepdad weekend, it was a natural outcome of the broken leg. If you act generously about this, it really will set a nice tone for the future. He followed up with, "You can go if you pay for it and take my kid and his friend too." So it's basically like, I don't trust you to take the son alone, but I do trust you to take my son and his best friend. This means he's not concerned about the safety, he just wants to freeload. Yeah, it's bad enough that the loser wants to get a free trip for his other son, but then add his son's friend to the mix? Tell me you're a mooch without saying you're a mooch. Boy, some people have more nerve than brains. I would put money on the fact that Logan makes more money than OP. It's really disgusting that he makes it sound like he's concerned about his kid's safety, but he's okay with him going as long as his kid and the kid's best friend forever go along for free. My daughter, Teen, was always very loud about her femininity. She always had glitter on her, her favourite colour was pink, she had bows in her hair, skirts and dresses were her favourite clothes. She was very gentle and shy. She was like those princesses from the books. Almost a year ago, she started to change. Slowly, she stopped wearing pink dresses and skirts and went to oversized pants and t-shirts. She stopped wearing makeup and it was rare to see any colour on her that wasn't dark. I tried to talk to her, but she would just shut me out. She became a different person. I put her in therapy and it helped a little, but not by much. I didn't know what to do anymore, so I just let her be, but made sure that I was there for her and to continue her therapy. 2 days ago, my daughter finally broke down and admitted that her brother had been picking on her and laughing about her. She said he kept talking about the sentence, "lipstick on a pig," around her. I was shocked. I never thought my son would act like that, but I knew she was telling the truth from the pain in her eyes. When my son came back home that day, I told him that my daughter told me what he did and that he was grounded until his 18th birthday. It's in 5 months. I took his phone and computer and told him that he would get his phone before school and that I would take it back when I got home. I get home around the same time as him since he has a long school day and basketball practice. He tried to protest, but I just asked him if she was lying and he wouldn't answer me, so I took that as a yes and hadn't talked to him since except for when I had to. I don't know how to deal with all of this. My daughter seems to get worse since I grounded her brother, but she has told me that he hasn't talked to her since and that she just feels bad. I'm starting to feel bad too. Both of my kids are miserable now. I'm barely talking to my son, and I don't know how even to begin to explain this to my family since my husband's side of the family has heard about this and has been sending me an angry text along with my sister-in-law coming to my house to scold me about not listening to his side. My husband supports my punishment, but he works long hours and isn't home too much, so it's all up to me. I need to know if I'm in the wrong here. You are the idiot. Deep down you know it. Your punishment is not in line with the crime. Siblings tease each other. I'm sure she's not 100% innocent, but I doubt you allowed your son to speak about anything. You've made your son a prisoner, and you ignore him in his own home. This is a cruel punishment. His own mother won't even speak to him because he teased his sister. I can't imagine the perfect mother would go from a lifetime of perfect mothering straight to withdrawing her love for 5 months until their ex-son is a legal adult without even allowing him to talk appropriately about his experience of what happened. What if she said mean things, worse mean things, and that was his retort? She'd still be upset, crying, making mommy feel bad for her. The son wouldn't have wanted to lie and said he didn't say them, and he was only given that one yes or no question before OP just exploded on him. Ultimately, you can't expect her kids to behave better or nicer or to have much emotional control when this is how she reacts to teenagers calling names. I'm getting clear golden child vibes from OP in this story. The reaction is almost like a "how dare you take my pink girly girl away from me" type thing. OP, I very highly doubt your daughter's changes are purely about what her brother said, but you're not going to bother looking into that. You're too busy being the warden. You're an idiot and shown by your actions that you're unfit to be a parent. I, 22 female, was given a beautiful necklace by my stepdad Jake when I graduated college last year. It was from his grandma's jewelry collection and I wear it daily. Jake proposed to my mom when I was 12 and we were close. I've only met Jake's family a couple of times over the years as they live very far away and initially disapproved of my mom. They tolerate my mom and me on holidays and are civil for Jake's benefit. A few weeks after my graduation, Jake and my mom passed in an accident, and the last year has been tough on me. I fell out with Jake's extended family when I was organising their funerals. Jake was brought up Christian, and his family wanted to hold his funeral in their family church. My mom and I are atheists, and I know she wanted to be cremated, so many of their funerals would be separate. I asked James' family if we could have a joint wake for my mom and Jake, but they insisted on doing it in their church hall, which I refused as my mom wasn't religious and wanted to do it at my mom and Jake's house. We fell out over this, and I haven't spoken to them since they decided to hold a wake for Jake in the church and not invite me. Yesterday, I got a message from Jake's mom asking for the necklace Jake gave me. She said it's a family heirloom to be added to the oldest daughter, and she wanted to give it to Jake's sister, who's pregnant. I refused as Jake gave it to me, and she got very hostile and threatened to sue me. I'm not sure if she can, as Jake was never married to my mom or officially my dad, but he was my dad regardless. Not the idiot. You lost your mom and Jake, but instead of offering you any comfort or sympathy, Jake's mom called to ask for a necklace that he gave you. What a horrible woman. She's the idiot. What a lovely Christian way to behave to a girl who lost her parents. Block all of them, OP, and go no contact. Lock all your social profiles and make them private so they cannot see anything or contact you or friends. They will just make your life miserable if you don't shut them out now. I'm so sorry you've lost both parents like this. I cannot imagine how hard this has been. Jake gave you a necklace when he was alive. They don't get to take it back now that he's gone. It doesn't matter who it used to belong to. Now it belongs to you.